got us a little Tomb of the Nine Gods run going on here. This dungeon's a little different than it used to be. They trimmed a lot of the mobs out of it, but this is the end of the Chult campaign. Once you finish the campaign arc in the campaign window, which is the center column, you can go through this campaign, or go through this dungeon. So at the beginning is a trick. What you have to look for on the wall is a mask. The mask would appear right there if it was in this area, or it would appear right there if it was over here on the wall. But it's in neither of those spots, which means they've gone the wrong way. So yes, they're fighting in there, but they're eventually going to get turned around because you have to find the mask in order to proceed forward. And there it is. You see it right there on the wall. There's the mask. That's how you know you're in the right place. They either haven't ever been here before, or they just weren't paying attention. I don't know if I've done very many higher level dungeons with Gallion. Usually been tanking or healing or something. This used to be a tough dungeon. It's still kind of fun, but it's easy now. So somehow he still charmed me, unless there was a second to do it too, which could have been. So once you clear that first little section, you get into one of the second puzzle of the dungeon, I guess, which is kind of a matching puzzle. You see these little tiles on the floor. There's one there. You see the little symbol on it. There's one there, and there's one over that side. All have their own little symbols. It's a little snake creature. So what you do is you find the sarcophagus that matches that symbol, and you do this. If you hit a sarcophagus that doesn't match it, it'll spawn a spider. It'll come out and attack you. Let's see, that's a little monkey thing. Fight some enemies through that one. Here's the little monkey thing. That's also, and then there's the door. So when you go through here, there's like 3 or 4 shadows on the other side of this. So if your DPS don't go first, let the tank go first, let somebody else, anybody go first other than you. Because you need DPS to break everybody out. I believe this is the first dungeon where the shadows popped up. They're really little cheap things that just make one person incapacitated and somebody else has to break them free. So throughout the dungeon, there are dwarves that you will see. They're usually not paying attention to you. If you kill every dwarf in the dungeon, you will get an achievement. I don't think we're going to kill every dwarf in the dungeon, but if we do, then, there's 2 right there. They'll just walk away. They won't actually attack you or anything. They're not interested in that. So this first puzzle is you drink the potions on the table. And as you see, when you drink the potion, these little things appear. And somebody else in the group will tell you what color you are or creature. And you just go stand on that platform. Now, if you stand on the wrong one, it just bounces you up in the air and you take a little bit of damage, not serious. As you can see, what will happen when he drinks the potion, you'll see he gets his color. And we got somebody who's calling him out. Sometimes it glitches out and you can actually see your own color. Happens every now and then. He's orange, as you can see. So there used to be three different puzzles in this dungeon. They broke one of them, and as is a custom to Neverwinter, they will, instead of fixing it, they'll just remove it from the game. And that's what they did here. It was a mimic puzzle, and once they put in both had red. And once they put in the layer of the Mad Mage with the little bouncy mimics and stuff, these mimics were broken at that point. So they did something with the way they moved and they just couldn't control it. I guess they found it easier to just remove it than to fix it, which is terrible. So each one of these books gives you a hint on what one of the keys are. If you see, our objective here is to defeat the skeleton keys. So each key has its own purpose, and it gives you your own benefit when you fight the boss. So if you happen to be a rogue and you hear the shadows make a scream right before they grab somebody. And if you're a rogue, you can actually stealth right before they hit you. I'd already wasted my stealth there. So and when you do that, they can't find a target. So they either grab the nearest person next, or they just stand there and don't do anything at all. So this is where the skeleton keys come into play. So the way this works is the skeleton key on the right. That's the person, usually the person that's done the most DPS takes that one. It gives you extra damage to the boss, but you take damage over time the entire time. As you see, I'm taking damage over time. The one in the middle, you do extra damage to the adds, but less damage to the boss. So a tank never takes that one, ever. Usually the healer will take that one. And the one on the left is used as a shield, and it protects you from the balls that appear. So what balls? You may not even see any. As you see, this is Orcus. So Orcus, you know, the green balls that he'll summon whenever he would raise his arms up in the air. Well, he summons them on this map, in this fight. The difference is here is that they come from the corners, and they will Orcus chain and connect themselves to somebody in the group. Like that right there. And the person who has the shield has to run into that ball. But if that ball hits somebody else, then, well, he's about to see. That ball is going to end up hitting him, and he's going to be perma-dead. The only person that can survive it is the person that takes the leftmost skeleton key. And the healer's dead now, because that guy did not take the ball. Now I have a ball attached to me, Which means if I can't kill this boss before the ball hits me, we're dead. Nope, he actually grabbed it. I'm glad you got to see the ball. Now that used to be, and it probably still is a DPS check, but it's almost impossible to fail it now. And I say that because people do so much damage that there's no way. That's what the shield is for. Every time the ball hits, it does like 100,000 damage or 300,000 or something like that. But it doesn't matter. The damage is arbitrary because if it hits a person without the shield, they're permadead. But the ball will hit somebody, they'll lose hit points, and then, or he'll lose 300,000 hit points off the temporary hit points. And eventually the shield is gone, and then the balls hit, you hit him and he dies. And then the balls hit everyone else and they die. And then the fight's over, you lost. There's another dwarf if you decide you want to kill them all. So I believe we're at the second puzzle. No, the second puzzle's after this. This is just you fight the Grave Master sitting on your throne. Teleports around initially a few times, and then you can get him. Just like it's always good to go for him. He'll keep summoning undeads over and over and over again until he dies. So you can kill the ads, we're just gonna make more. So yes, I'm walking ahead of the group, but it's only because I know Galleon's capabilities. It's not that the enemies are weak. It's just I'm way overpowered for this. So this is actually a guess the order right here. So what you do is you just see it says try a different sequence up on the screen. So you basically pick one of these till you find the right one, and that's the one you start with. It's the cup, or the vase. Then you gotta try to guess the next one. The scepter's the next one. You gotta guess the third one. The chalice is the third one. You gotta guess the fourth. Wow, 4 in a row, and then you gotta guess the fifth. Oh man, I almost had them all in the first try. Anyway, that's how you do it. If you mess up, you just start over again. It stays the same. Now, this sequence is different every single time. Most people will skip this one and they'll just run through that door. Now, if you just run through a door and ignore the traps, you get a little Alright, so if you go down the middle of this, you'll always wake this Demi-Lich up. You should never stay up there and fight him. You should always just hop down there and fight the enemies down there. But if you stay on the left side of the bridge, you don't wake the guy up. He might be the most powerful single enemy. A lot of damage, not a lot of hit points. And in case you are killing all the dwarves, there is one back behind the spot where you jump down at. we'll go get him. Actually, you can see him from here. You can see him right there. Yes. We'll go kill him. I may not have the achievement on Galleon, so we'll see what happens. Maybe I can get it. It's like this one guy's having some connection issues. I believe this is going to take us to the third puzzle, or maybe not yet. The third puzzle, they actually just put in the first puzzle the second time. So. Yeah, we gotta walk down here. And then we'll get the third puzzle. It's very interesting though in this dungeon because you're descending and you keep going down. Yet the boss battle takes place up there at the top. So I don't know how they decided this was what needed to happen. Go all the way down to the bottom and then you basically take an elevator back up to the top. So normally, or the way it was before, this would be the chests. You have the 3 chests. And if you were to run straight through, then you'll see what happens. Oh, no, I was fooled. Galleon, you're not as smart as you thought. So let's see which one we got. Oh, we got the trap. 4 trap. There's like 3 different ones. One for each trap. So looks like we got the one where you fight the enemies. There's one where you fight the enemies. There's one where you just move a bunch of rubble out of the doorway. There's another one where you have these. It's kind of like a little maze. You know, guess which tile to step on, or it teleports you back to the start, kind of thing. None of them are hard. It's probably the most entertaining one, I guess, but it's kind of the longest one. Fight all the enemies. You know what? I know why that guy wasn't paying attention and didn't get that green orb earlier. So he's the tank. Now, because the dungeon's a lot easier than it used to be, I guess it's fine for the tank to get that ball, to get the leftmost. And the reason that is because he needs to tank the boss. Unfortunately, the boss is really, I don't know, easy now. So there's no repercussions for the tank taking it because most of the time you won't even get any balls. So this is the part right before the second boss. You have to kill all these sets of enemies in order to proceed. So I got a little distracted. I saw somebody asking about the skeleton crew. Yeah. If I wasn't doing this video, I would say something. So here's the second boss. There's actually a lot of mechanics in here, but nobody pays any attention to them at all. So there's two levels when you come in here. There's the bottom level, which is near the boss, and there's the top level, which is at the top of the stairs. As you see, this is the top level. So you see these little corners. See the little fire right there? It tells you what the corner does. So during this fight, this boss summons all kinds of like weird traps and all kinds of other stuff to do damage to you. Hand got me. This is where the hand came. Actually, it's not. The Vendor's Tower was where the hand came in. They're not paying attention. They're too busy just doing their own thing. The cleric broke me out. So, as you see, you can actually see a dwarf in there right now. You see him right there? So, they're the ones that set off the traps. And if you happen to have somebody running around up there, you can kill them. And when you kill them, the traps stop. You know, for a time. They don't stay stopped. But for a time, the traps will stop. And they'll come back. That trap in particular is making this lightning. Now this is where the lightning actually matters. So if somebody were to go up there and kill the lightning guy, the guy in the little lightning corner, just right there. It looks like he just ended, so there's gonna be another one come out in a minute. You see, there's one in the fire corner. It's over there. It's making all the fire. So once you bring the shield completely down, then he's just standing there, and he doesn't have a lot of hit points. The only reason he's still alive is because I keep getting stunned. So, that was the second boss. Like I said, if you go into these corners, if you're feeling, if you're lower on the DPS than everybody else, you can go up here and kill these guys, and it'll stop the traps. And then there's just this room, and then a room full of dwarves. Big giant room full of dwarves. And I guess they're supposed to be the dwarves that are hitting those switches. I have never looked to see if there's actually fewer in there. If you, the longer the fight goes on. I'm gonna attack the dwarves. Because I want to see if I got the title or not. Actually, one of them might attack, so it may not matter. But, a bunch of dwarves in here you don't have to fight. They won't attack you. There is a codex right over here. Now, I'm going to attack these guys. Because I want to kill them all. They all run at you at once, too, so don't even... They don't stop. So they're all dead. I say that. There's still some in there hanging out, not coming after me. Hey guys, why y'all fight me? Now you can very easily get overwhelmed by these guys. The Galleon's so powerful that I just kind of... And that's all the dwarves. I'll probably have the achievement. I hope that we didn't miss one. So now we're at the final boss. So this used to be a really hard boss. He's actually even weaker than he was before they rebalanced the game. I don't know what they did to him recently. So you see the Soulmonger charge. So as that charge powers up throughout the fight, if it ever gets to maximum, when it goes off, it kills everybody and it's a reset. So don't stand next to the tank in this fight because of his overhead smash. And he will teleport around the room every time you get hit with that one. All right, it'll put a shield defense breaker on you. So you see this ghost right here. So when you see that ghost pop up, you always go to the opposite side it's on. Even if it means you have to stop fighting Roz Nisi, you always go to the opposite side. Like I said, you get hit by that one, and it gives you a little defense breaker, and it lowers your defense. And that's kind of to set you up for the attack later. Now, this is when he summons the spirits. This is what charges the Soulmonger charge. So when he summons the spirits, you have to kill the spirits. Don't worry about anything else except for the spirits. And when you kill them all, they, you successfully completed that little stage, and you've got spirits. Good job. Spirits are the only thing to worry about. See the ghost behind me? You saw on the back of the screen there. There he is. So you got one spirit in there. So you see the Soulmonger charged up just a little bit. This guy got knocked off. Now they didn't used to put you back on the platform when you got knocked off. They do now. Ever since they decided it was too hard for the amount of rewards you got for the dungeon. So if you're a rogue, watch out using Death Strike. As you see, he summoned the ghosts. You go after the ghosts. Don't think I'll be able. I was not able to get that last one. He's going to do his thing, and he knocked some of the enemies off, which is nice. So we got one more spirit in. I'm about to die here in just a second. That's going to be nice. But yes, watch out using Death Strike, because that would have put me over the side. It would have died. Now he's doing the actual power. You see, it did some damage. And these new ghosts will start charging it up a second time. Oh man, this guy's squishy. Look, Roz Nisi loves to attack you whenever you're reviving someone. So be careful if you go off reviving somebody. He loves doing it. It's like his thing. Let's see if I can finish him off here. I kind of wanted to do a training video on him, so I kind of go easy on him a little bit so you can see everything. So one last thing. The big flaming sword adds burn damage to you. That's actually the worst of the sword itself, the burn damage that you get. So if you're a cleric, you can purge or cleanse, whatever. You can cleanse the burn damage. So this fight's actually over already. I'm just running around so he can. All right, that's it. That is Tomb of the Nine Gods. The chest is the Chult key on the left side of the campaign screen. I'll get one real quick, just to show you. And here it is right there, Chult key. And that is Tomb of the Nine Gods.